Good morning. Hello. 大家好. While waiting for my fish to be harvested, today is not a very productive day, so I thought I will just relax here and under the shade, you can see here, and share with you some important points regarding buying property that you should know. Right, especially for those who are just young and upcoming and planning your first house. Always remember, if you buy, first point you must know, if you buy any house for your first house this year, you can still claim stamp duty exemption for your first house below 500,000. So if you plan to buy a house above 500,000, you have to realize you have to fork up extra money for stamp duty. How was it calculated? Okay, for the purchasing of first house, right? Below 500,000, you don't have to pay anything stamp duty, but you still have to pay legal fees, and you still have to pay your loans money. It will come to about, let's say, if you buy a house worth about 300,000, it will come to about 11 to 17,000 legal fees. Depend on what other things that the lawyer need to do, minus the stamp duty, right? How they calculate the stamp duty is the first, for those who buy second house and third house, no choice lah. You have to pay the stamp duty. How they calculate is the first 100,000 is 1%. Second tier is from 1,000 to 500,000. They will charge you 2%. So ultimately, if you buy a 500,000 house and below, your stamp duty for buying a house will be 1,000 plus 8,000, means total is 9,000. I don't know whether you know how to calculate or not. Later I will show you written inside the video here. Right. The second thing you need to know is if you buy a leasehold house, it's still okay. You need to, or the owner or the buyer will need to renew the lease later lah. They have a formula to calculate. In Perak, I don't know about other states. Usually it take about 1 month for the lease to be renewed lah. So far, my experience with house owner and house buyers lah. Right. The second thing, this is the second thing. The third thing you need to know is, for those who are buying house, make sure your record in your whatever borrowing you have now, whether it's car loan or credit card or existing housing loan, make sure you do not have any what you call delay payment or delay installment payment. You cannot have more than 1 month delay lah. Within the 12 months, that's called CCRIS record. And you should not have any CTOS report also. CTOS is something where a bank or somebody has sued you and it's in the record, which will hinder your loan application, right? Make sure you have that. And the fourth point, you must take note, for those who are working in Malaysia, your minimum salary is 1,500 before you can apply for a loan. For those working in overseas, like Singapore, minimum is 2,500 Sing before you can apply a loan. This is something that I've learned recently when some of my clients, they apply for loans. Just to inform you that you have to prepare some of these things. And then the fifth point, you must take note, for those who are young and you plan to buy houses, make sure you try to borrow as long as you can. Instead of 10 years, 15 years, I know you have money, but you want to pay off early, it's good to borrow longer, like 30, 35 years. Then you don't have to buy your MRTA very high or MRTT high. You can buy for 20 years or 15 years, depend on how soon you want to settle it. You know why you stretch your ringgit? Because you borrow longer years, your installment is lower, then it free your money to be able to buy other house or buy other assets. Then you don't have problem, because normally bank will lend up to a certain percentage of your salary, because they also know that you must have some money to spend, right? For your food, for your other things. So usually if your income is below 5,000, your debt service ratio could be about 70%. If your salary is higher, it can go up to 80-90%. It depends on your profession and also how high is your salary. Okay, take note. And then 6th point to note is, if you if you buy a second-hand property, or you are owner, you sell your house to somebody else, it's good that both use the same lawyer. I mean, for buyer, not much different, but for the owner, if you sell your second house, you don't have to pay additional legal fees, which is 1% for the lawyers. You save on that, but you have to trust the lawyer to do work for both, because it's the buyer's lawyer and you are the seller, and you tap on the buyer's lawyer. If you want to use your own lawyer, also can, but then you have to pay a separate fee to the other lawyer which you appoint, or just for your information. And point number 7, if you sell your house, or for that matter, if you buy your house, you must take note of certain banks' record now where they do not, their documentation is a bit slow. So let's say if there's some delay, usually SPA will give you 3+1 month to pay off the purchase. If your loan documentation is slow, and then you will have to pay interest for the delay. Let's say if 3+1, after the 4th month, you have to pay the interest, and it's 10%, usually stated in the SPA. So get a banker that actually process your documentation fast and well. No delay, that sort of thing. Because some will delay, and then you have to pay. Let's say they only release the loan in 6 months' time, then you have to pay the interest for 2 months for the delay of the outstanding amount which you have not paid. Just for your information also. For me, I always encourage older folks, if you plan to retire, don't go for double-story terrace, or don't go for double-story bungalow. Just go for single-story. You appreciate my advice later, because you don't have to climb staircase. You don't have to be too big if you want to retire, unless you like gardening. Otherwise, just go for a single-story, as small as you can and comfortable as you can, and also good location. It's all about location, location, location. You cannot compare one taman to another taman, the house, because it depends on the location itself. Because different location commands different price for the land value. And in Taiping, especially right now, land value, it depends on where. It can be from 30 ringgit per square feet. Depend on how far it's from Taiping, but usually outskirts 30, 35, 40 ringgit per square feet, and it's not so nice in a sense that it's not properly planned. But for those good areas, it's about 70 to those near Lake Gardens, about 120, 130 per square feet. That's the price of Taiping land right now. It's very peaceful here, and I enjoy coming here, even though today is not a very good day. No baby fries harvested, but it's a good relaxation time, and also to do my exercising, walking around, and sitting under the shade, and then got this time to do some recording, just to explain to you some of the things you need to take note when you buy a house. Yeah. From time to time, I will explain again some of the pertinent things you need to know about buying a house, and what documents you need so that everything will be smooth and there's no delay. Usually when you buy a house, you need to put in earnest money. We call it deposit, usually 2%. And once you sign the SPA, you should have the 8% ready to pay. Even though you have to, if you take 100% loan, then you have to get the owner to agree that you are waiting for the loan disbursement. Okay. Usually, if you buy a first house below 300,000, you are qualified for 100%. But not all banks lend 100%. So you have to find out which bank gives 100% for lending. Yeah, and You also must make sure that you have some extra cash to pay legal fees. Like I said earlier, if you buy a 300,000 house, your legal fees can come to about up to 15 to 17,000. And not forgetting that you need to do some renovation. Depending on how extensive is the renovation, you need some spare cash. So it's not just the house property value, and that's it. You have to think of all that. Yeah, right. Stay safe, everyone. Hope to see you in the next video. If you like this, please subscribe and pass the message around. And hope you have a great day and stay healthy. After coming back from the fish farm, playing with my peacock Adam and Timon, they are showing off their style.